Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but I'm Dre Mac? Came into the game just to spit facts. Into the space that I'm in. They call me Bobby Drake cause I'm cold with the pen. I find no diamonds but I still shine. You can dig me cause my boy's mine. My tracks playing like a Damu. The hardest part on my tongue, digging is a warm blue. I'ma throw with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist, but you smell me. One spark, then I bet you I'ma blow up. You throw my name around, get stupid, then you go dumb. No rest for the weary. A versus thinking in his man, but you can't see me. You rather drink than go pull up. I'm drinking knife through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat at the a la carte. Got stripped of a bear, call me brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I poured all the planks, you use a Decepticon. Straight rappers to retreats like Cobra. 80s they can throw they like. Up in the storage and I'm man. Up, down, down, then I'm cheap. You a beast, man. I take a beat in. Ninja Turtle rap, Turtle Clans get defeated. Hop in my ride, you can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me, cause I'm a guy bomb. Bad attitude like a rocket, my whole to the A, and I bet you can stop us. LL bad when I go and show up. You can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. To get that honey sauce on me, I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Why is my camera over here? Oh, I just noticed somebody has been over here tampering with my stuff, and I'm gonna have to talk to my kids about that. What's going on, everybody? It's your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. Just starting a little later at 7:45 in the morning, 8:45 on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast right now, still get up, get your behind up, because you already know that the early bird gets the worm. You know, and today we gonna be here for a while. I did not think Birdman was gonna do a video on KinoFlex this long, but man, KinoFlex, you the next contestant up to the Birdman's right, I guess, boy. Good Lord. Man, I started some of this video already just because I wanted to see how long it was. I was like, oh my Lord mercy. Birdman, you gonna be owing me some dinner. for this. No, I'm just joking. That's my guy though, man. The Birdman. Shout out to my guy, the Birdman. You know, we did a video on KinoFlex, and I honestly think KinoFlex got something for Birdman because you keep doing videos on this dude, and I don't know why. I don't know why you keep stepping in the ring with him, knowing he has the same amount of prep time as Batman. I don't know why you keep messing with this. like Pop said on Friday. I don't know why you keep coming out here messing with these people. Not a date, you jerk. You know what, Alvin, you about to be banned. 55 months. You just got out probation parole. Now you about to be banned again. I'm sick of it. Do it again. I'm banning you 55 months. Pause. I said dinner. Not a date. Freak. Anyway, we're going to get into the video. Again, shout out to all the new subscribers, all the new people who is coming into watching these lives for the first time, watching these playbacks of the live for the first time. Of course, I really appreciate you guys. I do have a special video that I'm going to do on tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to get it up and edit it and out the door on tomorrow, but Captain Diesel's Dojo, we're supposed to be doing a video here soon. And shout out to Captain Diesel's Dojo. Actually was one of the ones, and I'm gonna just say this because it was out of love, and I think I talked about this before, but he didn't like the whole me back and forth with Ernie and Rob. You know what I mean? And I actually respected what he said on there because it came from a place of love. It didn't come from a place of y'all whack or, you know what I'm saying, just talking crazy or anything like that. But it was out of a place of love. And I actually appreciate when people do that. When they come from a place of love and it's not, and because they want to see better. That's why we're gonna have a conversation tomorrow, because we're gonna dive into it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I did post a video. I want you to go check out Captain Diesel's Dojo. If y'all wanted to know more about Icon, dude just did a excellent video on Icon. Excellent. Breaking down Icon's issue number 1 and a little bit more into his character or whatever. A lot of great information in there, man. And so shout out to the Cap. Well, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get together, you know, for a powwow on tomorrow. You know what I mean? But anyway, hope you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gant over at the Heavy Gant Reaction, which you already know what I do. The real question is, are you
hating on my energy? Say why you hating on my energy? I don't think you wanna be my enemy.
All right. Let's see who is all in the house right now. We already know one who's about to get 55 months. He keep talking. Tina, aka Minty Gasm, good morning. Krisha Key, good morning. Andre Ware, up early in the morning. Buttermilk biscuits is baking, baby. The raisin butter biscuits. It's my mama biscuits. Not my mama biscuits. Marley Moore, good morning. I will be inboxing you on tomorrow. For everything. You know what I'm talking about, Marley Moore. So I'll be inboxing you tomorrow about the Kickstarter. You know what I'm saying, that you got. Let me see. Alvin Rodriguez, what's up, man? This dude. What's up, Torian? Yeah, this is look. I have Snapple. when you just want to get after a grifter. Pause. I got the thing wrong. Snapple, when you turn it around the wrong direction. Still delicious. Who all loves some Snapple? Boy, I like some Snapple. That's racist. All right, you up to 65 months now. You up to 65 months, Alvin. Alvin, you about to be, boy, you about to be locked up. Ain't nobody gonna come and get your bail. Ain't nobody about to get your bail. Nobody. What the hell wrong with you? Blue's house. What's up, Blue? You said Captain Durag. Hold up, wait a minute. Can I address that real quick? Blue, with Captain Durag. I mean, I wear a durag to keep my hair down, but I ain't running around as a superhero with it. Now, I understand what the creator was trying to do. I understand you're trying to bring a black superhero. You're trying to have some fun, have some sex of the 70s black exploitation. That, man, people in kids in 2026 don't know what the hell the black exploitation is. They don't know that. Take after Meteor Man. You know what I mean? Hell, Blake Man. Do not do Durag Man. Captain Durag. What is wrong with you? Like, I get it. We do, and again, I keep telling, it goes back to anybody who always talking about anti-recast. If they could do that to the first mainstream black superhero, do you think they care about anything else? They're going to give you they're going to just give you whatever because y'all don't want to fight for nothing. Y'all don't want to fight for nothing. Oh, they gave you it. But then the Snyder Brigade, the Snyder Cult, didn't they get the Snyder Cut version anyway of Justice League? Didn't the people who looked at Sonic and say, geez, Louise, that's ugly? Did we get a more cartoon, video game accurate Sonic? Don't tell me what your voices can't do. And people who submit to whatever the machine tell them to, is this the reason why they bend the knee? But like Rage Against the Machine, it's bulls on parade with me. You know what I mean? Because you could be a voice. Don't just allow them to give you whatever you want. Give you just whatever they want to give you. They give you something and you wonder why, hey man, we don't get nothing. Because you just take what they give you. You never fight for nothing. Start fighting. Get up. Start fighting for something. And act like you belong to be there. You belong to be on side of the Batmans, the Supermans, the Spider-Mans, you know what I'm saying? The Wonder Womans of the world, all these other characters that they propagate. The Hulk, Iron Man, Thor even. People that were secondary characters. And then you ask for a recast for Black Panther because if they do him like that again, this is why you got Captain Durag. Then you can't complain about Captain Durag if you're not lending your voice to be like, no, I got to have pushback because they didn't do Paul Walker like that. And they damn sure I didn't watch the latest Fast and Fury movie and Paul Walker crashed into a goddamn old tree and burned up. It didn't have a funeral for him. I know I didn't see that, but T'Challa that lives in a advanced technological place died of a rare disease that they didn't know how to fix, and they sold it to you. They sold it to you. One ticket a piece, and y'all bought into it. Y'all don't see nothing wrong with that. Y'all was cool because it was honoring Chadwick. And now they give you Captain Durag. I don't want to hear nothing. If you anti-recaster, you better put on your damn Captain Durag outfit. Comic-Con, Captain Durag. You better do it. Because y'all didn't want to see black excellence. Y'all want to see whatever the hell they give y'all. And people who don't even know our struggle is creating that. Thanks a lot. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. My bad. Went on a rant. Xavier Phoenix, good morning. Oh, man. J. Carter, good morning. This is going to be one of those type of mornings, J. Carter. So get your popcorn ready. What up, She? Good morning, good morning, good morning. LeRon, good morning, good morning, good morning. X-Man, Xavier Phoenix, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wavy Things, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me see. Who's all up here? Miss Roberta. I didn't even cuss. I ranted. No cuss words. I didn't even say dang it. What's up, aggressively relaxing? What's up? Oh, D Stizzle, what's up? Yep. Hey, we're gonna be rapping. I'm gonna be rapping with you before I go to work tomorrow. You know what I mean? Snapple is Thando's favorite drink. You stupid. Let me see. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me see who's on. I'm trying to still see who's on. Duran, who they think gonna get them biscuits? We already know. Dark Wolf, what's up? You said you missed the 5-hour life. You said you cool with Captain Durag? I'm not. I'm cool with the concept of a superhero. Calling him Captain Durag, I'm not for that. I'm sorry. Captain Durag, what's next? Oh, dude, it's so much rabbit hole that I can go through. That's so much. Captain Durag. Wait, who's next? Who's his partner? Bionic Saggy Pants? Oh man. Well, who does he fight? White Beater? Like, man, it's just too many rabbit holes. You know what I'm saying? What if his arch nemesis is what? Wig Queen? No, man, it's a rabbit. I'm a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole. And I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? My kids are too old to watch that. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but you know what I'm saying? I get it. I understand why it's why the black heroes support it. I don't like the name. If they would have changed the name to any other, again, what other white character that is named after a stereotype of the character? We don't hear Captain Cracker, do we? Before white folks, white folks understand what I'm saying. Cracker doesn't mean like a saltine cracker. The original meaning for cracker was the master cracking the whip. Why Blue? Man, Blue, what you doing out here? What you doing? Look, you want to be Captain Durag? You have to Durag ready? But you didn't. Hold on, wait a minute. You defended Captain Durag, but you didn't want to be Biscuit Man with BKB and honey sauce. Damn that.
No, sir.
That.
No, sir. Man.
You got 5 minutes.
I think y'all got Captain Durag wrong, man. I think y'all looking at it wrong. Because it's not disrespectful. I could see if it was coming from a place of hate. It ain't disrespectful, and it's not even making us in the back. This is a dude. Captain Durag looked like my daddy. And I wish I had a Captain Durag growing up cartoon, which would have helped me clean up the room and all types of stuff like that. Because Dre, we didn't have no black cartoons growing up.
You know who you had? Mr. T.
Who?
What did Mr. T tell you? Now Mr. T ain't no hero.
How long did Mr. T cartoon? This motherfucker said,
what, 2 years?
Oh, mother. Mr. T came. When did Mr. T cartoon ended in what? 85?
I think it went from 83, 85. My man had cereal, everything. You know he had some Mr. T cereal.
He did.
The Mr. T was everywhere. Gold chains, all of that.
Tell me what's wrong with Captain Durag?
The name? That's all it is. It's just a name.
The name?
Name.
What you got on? Dre, what you got on right now?
So listen. You must have been trying to click on when I was saying this. You start with Captain Durag. Mm-hmm. Professor Saggy Pants is next.
Nope. Wait a
minute. I gotta go down this rabbit hole. Then you gonna have one of his arch nemesis, Tyler Perry's wig. Is gonna be one. You gonna have lace front. You know what I'm saying? Wait, this is wrong. But what I'm saying is, what white character that is a superhero is named after a stereotype of a white man?
Why is a durag a stereotype of? Why it's the same thing? Me and Chill. Hold on. Because we had the discussion last night. We so worried about stereotypes. Dude, you got a durag on right now. We talk about, because when we bring up stuff like that, we talk about.
Hair down.
Hold on. We talking about respectability politics now. Black folks always got to come 100. Why we always got to be the top of the top, cream of the crop when creating? Why we can't just have fun? Captain
mean,
Durag, Captain Durag or Durag Man is a figment of imagination of this little girl, right? Like I said in my video last night, because I did a 5-hour live, me, Tina, and Chill. Don't ever do a 5-hour live like that again.
Oh, no.
But I did a 5-hour live last night, and we were talking about that. Like, what he back? That ain't what he do. I can see, because the thing is,
that's just, I ain't gonna lie, that's funny.
That is funny. That's funny. If it was Captain Durag Man, and like you said, his trusty sidekick, lace front, lady lace front, or something like that. Yeah, now you talk about making a joke, making a caricature of the situation, but that ain't what it is. This is just a figment of imagination of this little girl's mind who was helping her clean her room. That's all it is. It ain't got nothing to do with making black folks look bad. Like you said, if it was Captain Saggy Pants, if it was, if it was Captain Pooh Shiesty Mask and he was out here teaching the little girl how to scam, then I'll be up in arms. But it's Captain Durag. My daddy wore a do-rag when I was young. He had a purple do-rag. He loved that. He loved that purple do-rag for some reason. He wore it until he couldn't wear it no more. You know what I'm saying? But that Captain Durag remind me of my daddy. So this little girl, because it's made by Marcellus Bennett, and I forgot the lady's name. It's black. So I asked the question this. She half Jamaican, half black. I'm not finna get into it. I got into that minutia last night too. I'm not even finna go there.
Chill? I just want to know what Chill's. Shout out to Chill Bunker though, because I ain't talked to him in a minute. But what did Chill say?
My CIA brother was on our side. He was on my side, on me and Tina's side. Like, yeah, he was like, he rocked with Captain Durag.
Huh? Who was against? Nobody.
I mean, it was some people. I think everybody who was against was making valid arguments. Like, come on, Captain Durag. But if you watch the show, you see why it's Captain. You know what I'm saying? You watch, and that's another argument I made. We over here arguing about Captain Durag. Y'all ain't gonna watch this show. You're not watching that show.
Yeah, because I don't have a 5-year-old.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's. I said I'm not even really supposed to be talking about this because I'm not gonna be watching that show. I ain't got kids of that age to watch the show.
Right.
My only thing was, if I did have a kid to watch the show, if my son had Captain Durag growing up, he would look up to Captain Durag. I rock the Durag. So seeing his daddy. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Did you rock them Hammerman shoes?
Back in the day? I tried to get the only thing I got from the only thing I got from Hammer. Look at you, man. The only thing I got from Hammer back in the day was I wanted some British Knights because of MC Hammer. That was it. That was it.
You didn't want the Michael Jackson British Knights. You want the Hammer.
I wanted the Hammer British Knights. Yeah, that was it, man. I didn't get the parachute pants or nothing like that, but nah, man.
I ain't gonna lie. I had a pair of purple parachute pants. I ain't gonna sit up here. I had a pair of purple parachute pants. I go sit up here. Like I said, I understand the concept. You know what I'm saying? Number one, because it's Disney, and if the pitch wasn't, it was a do-rag. You're like, I'm damn glad it ain't no Pooh Shiesty Mask. If the pitch wasn't a do-rag and he just wore, let's say, just a regular cape, you know what I'm saying? Regular cape in a mask, would it still be effective for black kids? Or does a do-rag, because I got on the do-rag right now because I ain't got my hair braided and it look like crap. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So let me ask you this, Dre. If your child saw you walking around every day in a do-rag, and in their mind, they look at you like a superhero, and they draw their daddy, what would they draw? You're right. What would they draw?
Hold on, wait a minute. I can show you. Hold on. If I can find it real quick, I'll show you a picture. If I still got it in I think I still have it. My son, he wanted to be me for Halloween, which was literally probably one of the funniest things I've ever saw in my life, and I'm not joking. So,
and when he drew you, what did you have on?
Hold on, wait a minute. If I find this, was this? I think it was Halloween or for school or something. But he had on, because I also rock hats, so. I was looking like if I could find this mug up in here, I mean, my son had me looking wild with a long beard. You know what I'm saying? Like with
But
this hat
what was the
on.
art? Because we had the argument last night about if it wasn't on Disney, if it was on BET, would people have an issue if it was on BET or
Yep.
on some
Because-
other station that we look at as black? Would we have an issue then? If it was Captain Jerk Chicken, if it was Captain Jerk Chicken Man from Jamaica, would you
That's
have would the Jamaicans
worse.
have an issue if it was if it was Captain if it was Captain Gumbo and the dude was Creole and he cooked gumbo while he was helping
wait a minute.
you know what I'm saying? What
We
do
already
what do
have
we
Captain Gumbo in Marvel. Let's not bring that up. We already have Captain Gumbo in
no,
Marvel.
that's the Cajun Tupac you talk about.
No. I'm not talking about Cajun Tupac. I was talking about Gumbo. You know what I'm talking about.
You talking about.
Yeah, we already got Captain Gumbo.
Got
You know what
he
I
only
mean?
showed up twice though. Do he count? He only showed up twice.
He's a part of the canon.
He is part of canon. You're right. I just don't have, because I think right now we're at a point in time to where we're looking for offenses to be offended by, and I just don't think this is one of those things to really make an issue of. It's a cartoon show. It's a good cartoon show. It's a positive cartoon show, and we want to tear it down. I'm like, hey, sometimes we got to take the win. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Take the win. You know what I'm saying? This to me ain't the fight we need to be having on certain situations. It's better. It's other fights out there.
Which I do agree with you. I do agree with you as far as there's other fights out there. We could be doing something else. I just think it was the name. For me, it was the name. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Right,
but again, we grew up with like Wayne Head. We grew up with you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? We grew up with the Hammerman. We grew up with Mr. T. You know what I'm saying? As far as like black characters in media that we actually knew that was black, not just by their voice, not just like, black
culture. And that's another thing.
Roadblock from G.I. Joe, all of that.
Growing up, we didn't have a dedicated black culturally black show. I know you brought up Mr. T. I brought up Wayne Head last night. Wayne Head wasn't a positive show. You know what I'm saying? I talked about the PJs.
Wayne Head, this is my son. He said this was me. This is my son. He said this was me. He's like, he wanted to be his daddy, and that's exactly the picture he pulled. That's
crazy.
That's dope, this is wild. This is wild, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because my son just had his birthday. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't even mad at it because he said that was me. You know what I mean? But I do like that.
Going back to the show, because the show is called Hey AJ. It's the family. This is a prominent black family. This ain't some family growing up in the projects or some dysfunctional family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the mom is a like a top of the line chef. The dad is some top of the line, whatever he does. Like, it's not no BS. And that's what I'm getting at. Like, come on, man. Let the little girl have Captain Durag as her imaginary friend who help her clean her room up. I don't see the issue with that.
If it turns out that this is something that turns out to be positive, maybe we can, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, times change. I think it's not just looking for something to be mad about. Because I kind of want that to be addressed. It's because there's so much that they try to point at black people, you know what I'm saying? And to be derogative or negative and stuff like that, that you can't help but be hypersensitive in this world. You know what I'm saying? So you got it. It's almost like, I mean, hell, black people have been in an abusive relationship with, you know what I'm saying, with America for a long time. And a lot of these companies, they capitalize on just us. Our style or this or that, you know what I'm saying? Never want our blues, but love our rhythm. So you're going to be guarded. You're going to look at something like, what? You know what I'm saying? Just like the Good Times. You know what I'm saying? Which came out to be true. But when we first seen it, we was already like, hell no. Even though later episodes did get better. I'm not going to sit here and act like the later episodes did not tell a more cohesive story to that. And then I understood, but it took 8, 9 episodes just to get there. You know what I'm saying? When people already was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So it's everything that we're doing is almost like hypersensitive. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, you can't blame anybody for kind of being guarded.
No. I'm not. I'm Captain Gatekeep. I'm at the gatekeeping things. I'm Captain Gatekeep. I'm all about that. I totally understand the sensitivity, the hypersensitivity of it all. But sooner or later, we got to take that power back. Sooner or later, because if we're right now at FBAs is talking about, you know what I'm saying? We foundation of Black Americans. We're American, Black culture, yada, yada, yada. Do-rag is Black culture. So are you ashamed of your culture or not? And that's what I came about it from. If we got, because we always want to put it up to our white counterparts. If Beavis and Butthead, if King of the Hill can come out and they make fun of the trailer park and them doing all that type of stuff, then we should have no issue with us also having fun with our own culture and things like that. Beavis and Butthead, the Great Cornholio, what you know what I'm saying? All the foolishness that they are allowed to do, it seems like we police our own to the point to where now we missing out on meals. Now we losing because we want respectability politics, which ain't never gonna get us nowhere in the first place, because the same people that we're trying to have respectability politics towards, they not even accepting us in suits and ties.
So you saying just go all out.
Be yourself. Yes, be yourself, because it's your culture. It's places where you need to show up at with a suit and tie and stuff like that. I'm not saying don't have no decorum or anything like that, but be yourself. Captain Do-Rag is Captain Do-Rag. If the superhero or if the person, the art is what it is and it's a representation of what it is, and it's a proper representation. Like I said, if it was Captain Do-Rag and Lady Lace Front and they were sitting on the corner doing some shit that ain't got, you know what I'm saying, just demeaning the culture, I'll be right there with everybody, those people who are in the uproar about Captain Do-Rag. But if it's Captain Do-Rag and he is showing the girl how to clean up her room, they're having imaginative conversations about cleaning up Slime City, and you know what I'm saying, it's helping the girl just be free and be herself, and it ain't nothing derogatory or demeaning or damning to the little girl, I'm gonna cheer for it all day long. I got a little girl. She didn't grow up with a Black counterpart cartoon for herself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I know my daughter would have loved Captain Do-Rag. Like I said, I'm a superhero to her. She would have saw me in Captain Do-Rag because I rocked the Do-Rag and I was her superhero. So I'm gonna apply.
No, I agree with you.
I get the backlash, but me myself, I'm gonna apply that Captain Do-Rag don't hurt me. I don't think it's hurting the community. I don't think it's hurting the culture. If it was taken from me, it was on some culture vulture type stuff, I'd be right there with everybody, but I don't think that this is that.
I agree with you.
So I'm gonna let you have your show back, man. I just wanted to jump in. I don't want to hijack.
Now I'm gonna be on here for 2.5 hours.
I know.
Thanks a lot, Blue.
You gotta get that 5 hours straight out,
video.
Please, man.
He said, well, hold on, wait a minute. Before you go, they asked, what is Captain Do-Rag's superpower? It better not be wave grease.
Hey, you know what? He got that. Remember, you know that Murray. This is how he got his power. It's a Murray's can. The Murray's can that was passed down from father to son. That don't nobody really. Now I'm just playing. Now see that would be.
Get out of here. All right, bro.
All right. Yeah.
All right. So Blue made some good points. Glad we was able to get that out. All right, this is gonna be a I you know what I'm saying. He made an excellent point. I can't knock the points, and this is the reason why we have conversations, so we could be able to understand others' point of views and stuff like that. But you already know, man. I didn't even get to shout out the crew, man. Let me shout out the crew, man. Let's go. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Stop everything you're doing. Go and hit that like button. I know this is probably your first time watching and you probably enjoying everything. Stop fucking on the channel and go and hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos or one of my morning live streams. And for only $2.99 a month, you can be a part of the crew. And shout out to all my crew members that been holding it down for Dre Mack and the crew since the beginning. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program, now in service. Go. Bye. All right, all right. And if you want to be a part of the crew, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button or the join button at the top of the page on the YouTube channel. All right. We just did enough early talking with Captain Durag and Madam Lacefront, you know, Auntie Bonnet. I was thinking that. You know what I'm saying? The dynamic bonnet. But, I mean, honestly, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna watch the show because I don't have any kids young enough for that show. But also I can see both sides. I can see being hypersensitive, and I could also see, let the kids decide if this is the hero that they want. If they have no problem with it, who are we to tell them? You know what I'm saying? I'm still a Knight Rider fan. You know what I'm saying? And that dude is white. And I you know what I'm saying? And Mr. T was on the 18. Well, I didn't watch Mr. T. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I completely understand. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and transition over, man. We gotta get into these biscuits, man. And I'll be right back with more of the Trey Mack Show. Lord, I messed that up.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Now you can own one of the greatest gospel albums ever on the road with only giant hits and legendary stars.
Biscuit. I know it's the truth about it. I love. Oh, how I love this biscuit. Oh, how I love this biscuit. It is the best biscuit. I know.
This treasury is not sold in stores, and when you call the toll-free number now, you also get another entire album of all-time gospel favorites. We now return to the Transformers.
Shut up, Blue. I said I can understand both sides. I didn't say I know what I'm rocking with. Auntie Bonnet and Captain Gumbo. Yeah, that's who I'm riding with, Captain Let me shut up. Biscuit man. All right. Let me take my son's lovely picture of me. My beard was not that long. What? But again, I can see where we're all coming from, though. I can see that. All right, let's transition over, man. Let's get into this video. Birdman, this is gonna be a long video. So the Birdman, KinoFlex, tries to defend Critical Drinker. Why do you keep messing with this dude is beyond me. Let's go.
As some of you well know, Jack Kentner, aka KinoFlex, aka DoxoFlex, as we like to affectionately refer to him, recently re-uploaded a dumbass video that he originally did to criticize my video about Predator Badlands and the Critical Drinker.
Oh,
I wasn't ever going to respond to this kid because he's hilariously bad at this. And every time I shit on people like this, some idiot claims I'm picking on them because they're smaller than me, when he's literally the guy with video after video after video.
I didn't know about DoxoFlex.
He has a litany of tweets, Discord messages, and community posts specifically about me, while I've done nothing to the guy but ignore him.
I don't want to be out of line or anything, but I think you like me. Like when you come at me, it's not a homophobic thing. Right. You're just not the one for me, Cal.
He is truly obsessed, even taking to Reddit on a burner account and speaking about himself in the third person, referring to himself as my nemesis.
What?
Of course, this Team Rocket washout is saying this because he produced a series of videos attempting to criticize my Ironheart video, and these were among the most popular videos on his channel. In fact, they are the 3rd, 4th, 6th, 7th, and 8th most popular videos on his channel. And we're using the term popular relatively here.
Mm-hmm.
So, like any single-minded, short-sighted grifter, he decided to attempt to replicate this success by milking me for content, which I completely understand.
I kind of feel bad because and I'm milking him for well, no, I kind of am. But I'm doing a reaction video to him. Is that milking him for content? I don't know.
And as I said before, this series isn't meant to respond to people that whine about me. I don't care about me. I care about the topics that I talk about. This isn't a drama channel. This isn't a drama series. But this little dipshit truly believes in his heart of hearts that I cannot refute the arguments he has presented against my Predator video. So let's put this little cum stain back in the Kleenex tissue his father should have shot him in. His mother's throat is already preoccupied.
Oh,
hey guys!
Oh, Birdman! KinoFlex, you gotta square up now. You gotta, hey, you better teach your mans how to squabble. Cause damn. And honestly, I did not know until I was looking for a picture for old Kino that a KinoFlex is a old time camera. Did not know that.
KinoFlex here, and we have finally made to the finale of my response series to poor defenses of Predator Badlands, with us saying hello once again to Bird Brain.
Yes, this is the little pet name this moron thinks is a hilarious diss. It took all 12 of his IQ points to come up with a schoolyard insult like bird brain.
Look, remember when I did my reaction video to him and I was like, you already started off wrong. Sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. All sign language. So I was like, if you come off with sign language, I'm not going to take you seriously. I'm not. That's why I was laughing at one reaction video that we did just last week. Laughing through the whole mug because I'm like, it's a lot of sign language going on that I'm laughing about it so much because of who it is, not what he's saying. You know what I mean? It's like, damn. Oh, so, yeah. So, I'm just saying, if anybody starts off a video, even if I start off a video and I want to be petty, I'm not. Because I want to go in, I want to go into the points. But the sign language, man, ain't nobody gonna take you seriously if you starting out trying to crack on somebody. Like, bro, that's not an icebreaker. You make yourself look like a straight cornball when you do that.
Sure, Farty McSmelly and PP Head were on the short list. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about my Predator video.
Right.
It takes this idiot nearly 10 minutes to do that, so let's skip ahead, shall we? Oh, and since this is one of those videos where someone is responding to me, responding to someone else, I'm going to put background music behind the previous video so that you know when the old video is playing. It helps those who are only listening to this video differentiate between what I'm currently saying and what I've said in the past.
But let's see if it's actually correct by taking a look at his response to the Critical Drinker.
Predator Badlands has released, and everyone and their mama loves it.
Well, seeing how it flopped in theaters, that's not exactly true now, is it? A more accurate assessment would be that everyone couldn't be bothered to go see it because they had better things to do.
Yes, you guys. What? Doxoflex is one of those gullible morons that believes these fake made-up numbers that don't actually have a source. I have already debunked the marketing numbers these outlets like to use in a previous video, but the short version is that these numbers are based on estimates from sites like Deadline, an outlet that lists themselves as the source for their claims.
Right.
There exists zero evidence that this film spent $70 million on its marketing. This is a regurgitation from another outlet who is repeating the claim from another outlet. I implore literally anyone watching this, find an actual source for this number, and all you will find is the word estimate over and over. And look.
And I told you, that's why when anybody brings up marketing, why they never bring up the revenue they made off of sales. Because if you're marketing something, you want somebody to buy something. If I'm marketing a movie, it's not just a movie I'm marketing, t-shirts, memorabilia, toys, you know, video games. If a video game is coming out, everything. So they always tell you the marketing numbers, but they never tell you how much they made on the sales of the merchandise. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, you know, if you have a movie, especially a superhero movie or anything, the merch comes right around the time the movie comes out. And the studios or that studio is going to get the majority of that marketing money back. Not marketing money, majority of the merchandise money. They're going to make the majority of their money is off of merch. The majority of their money, because they know they got to split the prices, the ticket prices with the theaters, and then they get a percentage. But the majority of their money comes from merchandise. They never tell you. When have you ever seen anywhere legitimate sources say this is a marketing budget and you can actually look at the whole entire numbers? You never see it. You never see it.
Literally nothing from Disney themselves. People like this also leave out that we live in 2026 and that films in 2026 are not only making money at the box office, but are making money through merchandising deals, direct merch sales, and home release. Did I not just say that? Did I not just say that? Thank you, Birdman. Man, can I run that back? I know it's going to be long. Can I run that back? Listen to this. Literally anyone watching this, find an actual source for this number, and all you will find is the word estimate over and over, and literally nothing from Disney themselves. People like this also leave out that we live in 2026, and that films in 2026 are not only making money at the box office, but are making money through merchandising deals, direct merch sales, and home release. As of the writing of this video, Badlands released on Disney Plus and Hulu a couple days ago and immediately became a top performer on those platforms, which in turn drive revenue for those streaming platforms. Calling films flops at the box office is basically meaningless in today's age. Thank you. This is the same thing that we talked about when we look at cult classics. Yeah, at the time of the box office, it may not made a lot of money. But as soon as a home release, and next thing you know, they're making money on the home release. Now we consider it a cult classic. It's where the word cult classic came from. A movie that didn't do well in the box office became a cultural phenomenon outside the box office. I'll give you another example in television. Look at Family Guy. Family Guy ran for a couple seasons, was canceled. I think it was on Cartoon Network or something like that, or Adult Swim for a second, then went back to Fox because it ended up being a cult classic, something that failed, but ended up getting a resurgence in popular culture based on the people who were buying it. You know what I mean? So a lot of people make excuses just to be able to crap on something without real evidence, without real numbers. Because movie studios are making money off these films in a variety of new ways, and that's why they're not in theaters that long anymore. They literally don't need it. However, it's another questionable take from Darth Grift that has compelled me to once again fire up the old Microsoft Word program to write this video. Oh, hello there. You're probably wondering why you're in my booth with me right now.
No, I'm really not. Just get to the point and stop wasting my time with the corny intro.
Incredible. Coming from the dipshit that spent 10 minutes talking about 2 entirely different videos than what was advertised in this video's title, and a lame skit with shit voice acting. You should probably take some tips, fruitcake. Your production quality is decidedly shit. I feel bad because Blue, you did a subject totally different from what Birdman was talking about. Now he gonna talk about me. Thanks a lot, Blue. Literally the excuse you gave as to why you had to re-upload this video.
What up, the best Dre?
Life really is a matter of perspective. For example, your boyfriend isn't really a useless, effeminate pussy who makes your skin crawl. He's actually just redefining masculinity.
Bold of you to assume there are women with boyfriends watching your videos, drinker. Or gay men, for that matter.
Why would that be the case? Are you speaking from experience? No judgment, of course, but it's just weird how you're speaking on behalf of an entire community like that with nothing to back it up.
So we're taking obvious jokes seriously now? I mean, if that were the case, I could go through the trouble of proving that I'm not gay by showing a couple videos on my phone that would likely get me banned on YouTube. But you see, I recognize you calling me gay as a joke. It's very weird how you are unable to do that, Jack.
I went over to Drinker subreddit, and what do you know? There are several members of his community who proudly express themselves as gay who despise several movies and shows Drinker negatively covers, thus making Bird Brain's assessment of an entire community of people being completely the same wrong.
Yes, the very reliable I'm insert minority group here, and I hate insert thing that minority group would like here. Very scientific. Since you're answering questions, how about this one? If 100% of gay people or 100% of women watched your bog standard critical drinker video, what percentage would you say would stick around? Once you have the answer to that question, you'll understand the joke I made.
So if you're trying to impress them by saying stuff like this, Bird Brain, I recommend that you quit while you're ahead, because I'm willing to bet that you're one asshole they don't want to fuck.
Oh my goodness. Miss Roberta, get the blast oil. We gonna need it for this video. This dude, remember he did a 4-hour video on a 4-hour live stream breaking down what I said. And the first thing he said was, hey, I can't tell a joke. Birdman can tell a joke, but I can't tell a joke. No, because you're corny. Nobody ain't trying to hear this. This is gonna be a long one, y'all. Y'all got some popcorn ready? This is gonna be real long and real. Woo.
So we're posting each other's faces, yes? Fantastic. That means I get to post yours.
Uh-oh.
That's so cool that you got to meet J.J. Abrams. You know, I always wondered how tall he was. Oh. Well, that explains why you're so angry all the time, Jack Kentner, and why you're a Charlie Kirk wannabe, working for right-wing outlets that harass students, women, and minority groups, huh? Why you...
Oh, boy, this just got interesting.
You literally have 0 images of you with women, but plenty of you with the boys. Why your testosterone is so low, the only thing you could grow on your face was pubic hair. Yeah, that explains exactly why you're a loser who spends his free time making fun of marginalized groups on the internet while being a dipshit low IQ manlet that is invisible to every woman walking past you down the street. And don't waste anyone's time claiming I'm doxing you, you hypocritical piece of shit. I have you on record admitting me showing your face and saying your name isn't doxing because all of this was public. So remember this the next time you want to show my face, Jack, because when you show what I actually look like, remember, I mog you hard from every angle. I had a stronger jawline than you when I was a child. So don't worry about who wants to fuck me and worry about tilting your head back when you speak to me, Napoleon.
Wow, look at that. That, me think, is, well, look like that you're L.
You see, you speak almost exclusively to right-wing incels that couldn't pay women to be with them.
What up, Country
One
Shake
only
Media?
has to travel over to your neo-Nazi subreddit to see precisely how disgusting your fan base is towards women.
If you're outraged by what Birdbrain just said, don't worry, you're not alone. I also see this disgusting act of bigotry on display. How can you, a self-proclaimed woke progressive, misgendered this absolute stud Elliot Page as a woman? Because I'll have you know that this bitch has a penis now, you goddamn transphobe.
I wonder who laughed at this. This was the big reveal this loser was teasing in Discord, where he told SK I'm apparently a transphobe, only for it to be a dumb joke that nobody laughed at. Let's move on. Except Sydney Sweeney for a couple of reasons.
I was about to say, Miss Roberta, we need the bless oil. We need the bless oil on this one. Tori Ray Reloaded, thanks so very much for the $5 super chat. Is this why when you try to roast Black Americans, you lose every single time? I believe so. Good. I'm talking about fried bologna right now. KinoFlex, you are getting packed up right now. Packed up. Just like this Grifter here.
You are totally amazing. Thank you for taste the goodness of the biscuit.
I mean, taste the honey sauce. Let's get the other stuff. He said, ooh.
Which is funny because all this right-wing support hasn't exactly translated into box office success, has it?
Really, Bird Brain?
Yes, stupid, stinky duty head.
You're being a little too comfortable displaying your internalized homophobia here. After all, the movie you're bashing, Christy, is a film based on the true story of a lesbian athlete surviving domestic abuse from her misogynistic husband, trying to restrict her independence. And that doesn't exactly sound like a movie catered to right-wing incels. In fact, none of these Sydney Sweeney movies that were back-to-back flops were made with any sort of intent in trying to appease right-wing incels like you're implying.
I guess the people that follow you find this weird angle about me being homophobic and transphobic pretty hilarious, but I find it a waste of time. You also think I'm specifically picking on Christy when on the screen I showed a screenshot saying 4 back-to-back failures. Oh, and we know that right-wing incels don't go to the movies. You are once again missing the joke and the meta-commentary. In general, conservatives are anti-art, and that's because the vast majority of art is progressive. When a conservative tries to create art, it's usually anti-art, a soulless reaction to progressivism that only exists to whine about the other side and says nothing meaningful beyond that. This is why it fails in the marketplace of ideas. Real art, on the other hand, has something to say, and it's often criticizing the power structure in some way. This is why all the way back in the 60s, you had Jack Kirby and Stan Lee standing up for minority groups in their work, and why conservatives of every single era have tried to stifle art. In the 90s, conservative groups tried to get Pokemon and Marilyn Manson banned. In the 2000s, Christian groups tried to get Harry Potter banned for promoting witchcraft. Hell, we can go back to the Renaissance, where Savonarola led a moral crusade against the art of the time, literally destroying it because it was progressive, or as he put it, a battle against vanity, luxury, paganism, and moral corruption.
I mean, he's cooking with fish grease. I remember all of that. I remember, playing, getting Pokemon cards, and some churches wouldn't allow you to play, with some of the kids to play Pokemon because they said it was satanic. Like, it is not. I like Pokemon, so he's not lying.
This is what you people have always done. What you like now, conservatives of the past hated and tried to have destroyed. I'm using a joke about Sydney Sweeney to highlight this fact, that you will rah-rah behind what you believe is a conservative figure, but you won't go support the actual art that artist makes. Hello.
If anything, they're pandering to people like yourself, self-proclaimed progressives who swear up and down that they want more movies with female leads and gay characters, only for the theater showing those exact movies to go completely empty because they, along with general audiences, don't actually care in the same way they don't tend to care about female sports divisions.
Hopefully you guys can see that this guy is just an anti-woke loser looking to grind an axe. Completely unhinged and off topic. First of all, I'm not a self-proclaimed anything.
Nope.
Like, I literally say I don't call myself anything. So you are very much lying right now, as I have not self-proclaimed to be a part of any group or ideology. In fact, I'm anti-ideology, something I've literally been saying for years publicly.
Yes, he has.
Second, I don't ask for anything in film. I am a film critic. It's how I got my start on YouTube. That being the case, I criticize a media property for what it is, not what I wanted it to be. Unlike you people, I'm a functional adult, and I don't go around crying like a little bitch when a movie stars an actor with an ethnicity or gender that doesn't match my own. I couldn't care less if a cast was 100% white or as diverse as my hometown. The only thing I ever concern myself with is the film good? You should read my Letterboxd reviews. Not only would your illiterate ass learn how to write, you'll see that this caricature you paint of me is completely invalid by simply listening to what I actually say about movies.
The only thing box office bombs like Christy communicate.
Yo. Can I take another commercial break? Because he is killing them. We gonna come right back. We're just a quarter. We not even a quarter way in this. We still got almost an hour of this to go. But I'm gonna take a commercial break because, man, this is gonna be rough. He is going to destroy this kid, and this kid is gonna say it wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah, I don't care. Bird brain. Oh boy, I'll be right back with more of the Dre Max Show.
Knight Rider will return after these messages and station identification.
He's Scanman. Oprah's boyfriend. If you cross him, you're a dead man. You heard what I said, man.
I heard he was gay. No way, sister.
Who's that man? He's dead man.
Knight Rider Power Cycle with Kit on the pretend instrument panel.
Here he comes. There's something special happening at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Fresh buttermilk biscuits made from scratch. Our chicken head biscuits a perfect match.
Warm, taste so good, make you want to slap your mama for real. Man, I slap your grandma, I slap your auntie.
Good idea. Playing horsey with your little sister. Bad idea. Playing horsey with your Aunt Bertha.
Let's see who's bad, man. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's do it. I'll show you who's bad. Come on.
You wear a disguise to look like human guys, but you're not a man, you're a chicken boo.
Now the conclusion of
I hate how they talk about you. Everybody thinks you're just a freeloader. They don't know about...
They can't know. They can't ever know. If my cover's blown, we're both dead.
Do you like the car? It's for you.
What's the occasion?
I can't believe you forgot again. It's our anniversary. We've been engaged for 15 years.
You know, I'd marry you tomorrow, baby. But it wouldn't be fair. Not to you or to the free world. Well, look at you.
This is it. I can't believe it. After 15 years, we're finally going to consummate our love.
Damn. This is Stedman. It's the commissioner.
What?
Professor Haight? He's escaped? Damn. What? The French Riviera? Now? Yes, sir. I'm on my way. Damn him! Damn that Professor Haight!
He's escaped? Again? Can't they build a prison strong enough to hold him for at least one night?
He's diabolical! I must go.
Can it wait just 1 hour? I want it so bad. 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Believe me, when we finally make love, I'm gonna take my time. It's gonna take all night long. But right now, I'm gonna need some money.
How much?
Let's see. French Riviera. In the house. Wardrobe. Disguises, special weapons, laser glasses, speedboat, armored helicopter.
All I have on me is 1.3 million.
That'll have to do.
Oh, darling, what kind of life is this?
Oprah, darling, you have to be strong. There's more at stake than just you and me.
Here's something to read on the plane.
Thank you, darling.
How about a kiss?
Of course. Close your eyes.
Oh, Stedman.
All right, so I have to get me something to eat because it looks like we're gonna be here for a while. Let's keep going.
Is that audiences aren't interested in seeing stories featuring women or gay characters, which is a sentiment being repeated even as we speak.
In what world do you live in where people broadly aren't watching movies starring women? Jurassic World Rebirth was the 6th place film at last year's box office, and the protagonist was portrayed by Scarlett Johansson.
Yep.
Judy Hopps is the protagonist of Zootopia 2, a film that is sitting just under $2 billion. Lilo and Stitch features 2 female protagonists. One of them, the first name in Lilo and Stitch, and it made over $1 billion. Should I do the same for 2024?
Keep going.
As for films starring queer people, there just isn't enough data to make this claim. According to GLAAD's actual website, films barely have them as characters, let alone the main character of a big budget film. You're making claims for which there exists no actual data. You should pipe down, clown.
And honestly, if the most vocal within the community overreact by calling for boycotts of a film for benign puns over jeans, what's the point in pandering to them anyway if they are just going to be unreasonable snowflakes? Though with Bird Brain, I can at least understand why he's so offended, since his genes seem to have unfortunately gifted him with a few extra chromosomes.
I really hate when far right wingers call other people snowflakes when they're literally ones melting down at every little thing that happens. Legitimately melting down at every little thing that happens. Shut up.
And an inferiority complex.
That's pretty funny coming from a guy that needs a booster seat to eat at IHOP.
No, it's actually redefining what a Predator movie should be.
What a completely uncharitable and myopic take on
Jada
the plot of
Informant.
this film.
Glad
I mean,
isn't a
saying
real
Deck
truthful
has
source.
daddy issues is an attempt at trivializing an important aspect of Yautja culture that predates this film. Deck in the film is trying to earn his place in his clan while also honoring his brother in the process. And to do that, he needs to bring back a trophy. If he succeeds, he would presumably be taken on a xenomorph hunt and become blooded.
Except his dad has no intention of taking him on any kind of xenomorph hunt. The plot of the film is him trying to kill Deck for simply being a runt. In other words, he was never going to give him a chance in the first place.
Completely immaterial to the motivations of the protagonist, which is what I am speaking about. That's why I said presumably, or to presume. In case you don't know what that word means, and we know you don't, here's the definition of presume. As we can all see, I am clearly communicating that from Deck's perspective, he believes that if he is successful at his goal, he'll be able to go on living a normal life for a Yautja. This is exactly what happens in the film, as Deck accomplishes his goal, kills his father, and is presumably accepted by his clan until his mother shows up and the film ends on a cliffhanger. The concept of being blooded and unblooded has existed in the comics and novels for decades. The 1994 novel, Prey, Aliens vs. Predator by Steve and Stephanie Perry follows the story of Michiko Noguchi, a human.
He's not trying to hear him either.
A Yautja warrior that is taking young, unblooded Yautja on their first xenomorph hunt so they can earn their blooded rank. The novel literally mentions that. You see? It's right there. My point is, a lot of what we see in this film is already established lore for the Predators. The title of Drinker's video exposes that he has no true understanding of this franchise and isn't a reliable resource. Disney did not create these concepts, as they have existed long before Disney acquired Fox. Drinker, once again, does not know what he's talking about, yet is speaking as an authority on a topic.
Wow, that's some really riveting stuff, Birdbrain. But unfortunately, I have some bad news for you. If you want to be autistic about the Predator lore, go right ahead. But unfortunately for you, I have the superior autism, because I actually bothered to look into it, unlike you, who just purposefully half-asses it because you're a grifting scumbag.
What?
Apparently this needs to be said again, but Deck's dad broke the Yautja honor code by trying to kill Deck and murdering his brother, which is a severe violation. If a predator kills or attempts to kill another predator that hasn't already committed a crime, then they are labeled a bad blood and to be immediately killed. In other words, if we were operating under the canon rules found in the source material of the comics and books, Deck's father would lose his title of chief and become a bad blood. But we are not operating under the canon rules. We are operating under Disney's own rules that are entirely different lore. What Birdbrain is pointing to are simply Easter eggs that reference the source material. It's not staying faithful to it.
Incorrect buzzer noises. Easter eggs? That's cope. You're admitting that it's following the established lore, but for some reason are trying to spin me correctly explaining that lore as a negative somehow. You failed. Also, you're not very good at research.
I miss Dark
Holmes
Horse.
Skillet, because if you were, you'd have found the prequel comic where it's shown precisely why Deck's father, Nior, wanted him killed. Deck was tasked with recovering a machine part, and Deck believes this will put him on the path to becoming blooded. He literally says that in the comic, meaning, yes, this franchise is following the established lore. Hold this L, Millhouse.
That, me think, is, well, look like that your L.
Anyway, Deck fails this task, as upon recovering the machine part, there is an explosion which causes him to drop and lose that part. This greatly angers his father, and this, along with being a runt, is why Nior wants him killed. So we get to the movie and we learn that Quay was secretly tasked with killing his brother for this failure. Quay disobeyed a direct order from his clan's leader and attempted to fight his father, thus opening himself up to being rightfully killed according to Yautja law. You can clearly see that Nior aimed his plasma caster at Deck, and Quay steps in front of it and raises his sword against his clan leader. So you see, DoxoFlex, you labeled the wrong Yautja as a bad blood. If anything, Quay was the bad blood. I mean, even if you reject all of what I just said, on your own source, it clearly states that high-ranked seasoned warriors have leeway with the code. Are Are you blind in addition to being stupid as fuck?
That long-winded rant he went on was pointless because he has no clue what he's talking about.
Irony. And before any of you morons start, I am not suggesting one needs to read a book to understand this movie. What I am saying is that if you're going to criticize this movie for doing certain things, you might want to actually know if it's breaking its own established lore first. And this information is only a simple Google search away. To suggest any of this is a result of Disney interference is to criticize something that is out of universe, and therefore it is fair game to bring up supplemental material that debunks that very criticism.
Okay, but hear me out, Birdbrain. What if people think the source material is bad too?
Irrelevant.
It
the
doesn't
critical
matter.
drinker stated this movie was redefining what a Predator movie should be, and I prove the film followed already established lore. There's no reason to seriously address this subjective value judgment, so let's move it along, shall we?
You shouldn't have to read the source material outside of the adaptation to understand or appreciate its plotline. The standalone story should be able to do that on its own.
No, this is the reason why a lot of comic book, and I had to interject. This is why a lot of people, when people who know of comics, read comics, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're just a general fan or you're a hardcore fan, the reason why we have so much problems with certain movies, especially when they use superheroes or anything, is because there is already an established lore. And when they move so far away from that lore, then the movie gets convoluted. That's when we have a problem. There was nothing that Birdman said, because I'm not big on Alien or Predator comic books or anything. I don't have one, never had one. You know what I'm saying? Transformers, Turtles, DC, Marvel, and a couple of independent comics, especially from a couple of my friends who have made comics, right? But it's still an established lore there. And as long as it's following the established lore in the movies, it's not deviating so far. You know, you got to take creative liberties, and I understand that. But as long as it's not going so far right that you can't really follow the story, then there's no problem with that. I don't know what KinoFlex is talking about.
So this goofy idiot heard me explicitly state I'm not saying you need to read supplemental material to understand a movie, and he still does the whole "you shouldn't need to read a book" bullshit that CinemaSins popularized. I'm not going to repeat myself, as I explicitly explained that you don't need to do this, and he literally agreed. Let's move on.
Now, I can't say I was exactly bursting with anticipation when I went into this one, partly because the concept of a Predator movie told from the Predator's point of view felt like a fundamental betrayal of the very thing that makes them compelling, their mystique.
Here is the definition of the word mystique. As you can see, this word essentially means something that is mysterious. And after 9 movies, various comic books, and video games, I don't think the Predators and mystique belong in the same sentence.
Okay, now, y'all know I'll be reacting to Birdman's videos. I don't want to hear now one person when I go against a video say nothing. If somebody come to me sideways, I don't want y'all to say nothing. I've been watching and listening to Birdman so long. Sometimes I be wanting to go there and I stop myself. But Birdman is going to be an inspiration for me to do a pack out video on somebody. And I'm talking about a true pack out video.
And I would say you're an idiot because, once again, one of the established rules of the Yautja Honor Code can be used against you, as maintaining their mystique in order for other species to not discover or acquire their technology has been very well established.
Imagine calling anyone stupid when you just failed to grasp the difference between diegetic and non-diegetic criticism. Drinker is referring to the film being told from the perspective of a Yautja, something novel to the series. In order to criticize this idea, he says that the audience following the Yautja makes the Predator lose its mystique, as in other films the creature acts as a slasher, where part of the appeal is the mystery surrounding an enemy that generally attacks from the shadows. My response is to later bring up films like In a Violent Nature, where we are shown the perspective of a slasher. This conversation is entirely non-diegetic, or out of universe. Your dumbass decided to talk about the Yautja hiding their weaponry from other species, a diegetic or in-universe concept, something Drinker and I are not talking about. You are supremely bad at this. I'm entirely shocked that you don't wear Velcro shoes. In other words, These are slasher films, something we have seen many times over the years. Something we haven't seen is a slasher film told from the perspective of the slasher.
I would love a Freddy
All
movie
right,
like
and
that.
A Violent Nature did it first, and I highly recommend y'all check that out. But my point is, learning about the killer by following the killer is a relatively novel concept, and is part of why this movie works so well. I have no idea why the guy that sits here and claims every Marvel movie is the same is upset that a long-running franchise is switching up the formula and breathing new life into that franchise. Oh, wait. Actually, I do.
Correct, Bird Brain. It's only new in the sense that we have a Predator as a protagonist. But other than that, it's a safe by-the-numbers Disney movie that we've seen time and time again. The entire movie is just a worse version of Guardians of the Galaxy.
What?
And while I will agree that the Predator franchise cannot
There's a worse version of Guardians of the Galaxy. What is he talking about?
absolutely be considered part of the slasher genre, that's not
Dude, a lot of these cats are just grifting because it's easy money. It's easy money. And I've said this before. When you don't want to work for a living, you want to make YouTube videos with this far right-wing bull crap that they push, this is an easy way for you to make money. You know, rage bait material gets views. I mean, hell, me just doing a reaction video to one dude going after another dude got me over 100. And actually, that wasn't the video that got me more subscribers. My recast T'Challa video about Eldest Hodge got me more subscribers than anything. But the view count, I can't sit up here and be like, well, people didn't come and watch this video, because they're still watching it. And this is the train wreck that people want to watch. And all you're doing is making trying to make the same point, same concept, and it makes no sense, Kino. It just stop. Just cut it out. Leave it alone. Quit. Go get your job. This ain't it. This is not it.
what Badlands is at all. And that's not even a point that's in contention, as people who enjoy the film have used that as a reason to praise it. So when you say that Badlands is comparable to In a Violent Nature, when it most certainly is not, you once again expose yourself as a low IQ nincompoop.
Once again, irony. Your argument here was,
yes, I agree the Predator franchise is a slasher franchise, but because it's not exactly the same as In a Violent Nature, you're wrong, Bird Brain.
It's like, where did I say they were exactly the same? Like, did you hear what I said? I said learning about the killer by following the killer is a relatively novel concept. Once again, your dumbass came to an entirely different conclusion than what either Drinker or I were talking about.
Intellectual giants like Grace Randolph, who boldly gushed over the film's humanization of the Predator and a possible romantic relationship with the fucking androids.
Drinker is referring to this tweet, which he quote tweeted. It's very clear that Grace is making a joke here, something Drinker thinks he does whenever he uses this clip.
This next section is really weird because he tries to defend Grace Randolph for saying that there was romance between Deck and Thea by saying she was joking, despite nothing about it being a joke, with her even doubling down.
That's probably because you are not very intelligent and you can barely keep up with things that are explicitly stated. So I completely understand how the nuance of a joke might be lost on you, Jackie boy, especially when it comes from those you deem to be your enemy. I mean, we've already established that you stupidly see yourself as my nemesis, and you took my joke dead ass serious earlier in this video.
Yo, what's his name from The Incredibles? What's dude's name? That becomes the antagonist at I can see his face because he reminds me of Grimace. I can't think of his name. Y'all know his name. What's the antagonist? Syndrome. Remember, he's basically Syndrome. I really want to be like you. I want to follow you. I want to be everything that you are, but I can't. So I'm going to make you my nemesis. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Syndrome. Or like Across the Spider-Verse, you get hit with a bagel and now I'm your nemesis. You know what I'm saying? The Spot is now my nemesis. Even though I didn't ask for this, I just threw a bagel. You know what I'm saying? But it just literally reminds me, this is what's weird about the internet. And what's weird about especially YouTube. This is being honest. I made a reaction video for Rob. Y'all all seen it. I made a reaction video for Ernie, Blood Without Fear. Y'all seen that. And people wanted me to choose it. Who do I go after? Who am I standing for? Am I standing for Rob or am I standing for Ernie? Who am I standing for? Who is it? Do you want Rob? Rob hangs with white supremacists. And Ernie, he don't even like recast T'Challa. So who are you riding for? My reaction channel, big dog. I don't need a nemesis. I'm not creating a nemesis. And this is what this cat is doing to what? Garner views. That's all it is. That's all it is. I can understand, in my point of view, if I double down on all the videos that I did over the weekend, then I'm trying to create a nemesis. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to create. He's now my nemesis. Yeah, I don't like him. He's my nemesis. The dude don't even know me. He don't even know me. And this is exactly what KinoFlex is nothing but syndrome. A sad excuse for a little man who's just trying to garner views and attention from the person technically he really wish he was. Not critical drinker. He wants to be like Birdman. And that's a shame. Birdman, if you're watching this, I'm sorry you got a nemesis. But he wants to be you so bad. It's a shame. And he even said in the video, the 4-hour-long video, that well, Birdman makes jokes. I can't make a joke. He wants to be you so bad, big dog. It's almost sad. It's almost like really sad.
But strangely, unlike how they treat me, Drinker's fanboys don't call him obsessed with Grace, or Disney, or Rachel Zegler, or Brie Larson, or Daisy Ridley. I guess it's okay when he retreads the same tire topics over and over, huh?
Yes, it is, and I'll happily explain why in detail.
And I'm sure whoever hears this will be totally interested, but I am not, and will thus skip this irrelevant part of this bloated video, as it is you once again taking an offhand comment by me and turning it into something it didn't need to turn into. This video is titled Debunking the Worst Defenses of Predator Badlands, and since Drinker not being called obsessed by his sycophants is not that, we're going to move this train right on along. Skip. Drinker's tweet is also really dumb. Firstly, he refers to Wayland Yutani synths as robots. It would be far more accurate to refer to them as androids. He then says that robots don't have genders. They very explicitly do. We call this android he, which is a pronoun that refers to the gender of the android.
They still you wow.
Does this subconsciously himself.
Since Birdbrain needs things constantly explained to him, I'll explain the joke to him. This is Critical Drinker mocking Grace for pandering to a progressive audience by pointing out that she's not being progressive enough. Since a lot of people on the far left have extremely French theories on gender, which includes asserting that robots have no gender and are non-binary. And if you think I'm making this up, here's the previously mentioned second in command of Birdbrain's Butt Buddy Brigade expressing this very viewpoint.
Wait a minute. What
Here's
say?
one that goes, Predator Badlands perfectly demonstrates how the great feminization has destroyed culture.
The face for pandering to a progressive audience by pointing out
of the android. Trust me, Drinker does this subconsciously himself.
Since Birdbrain needs things constantly explained to him, I'll explain the joke to him. This is Critical Drinker mocking Grace for pandering to a progressive audience by pointing out that she's not being progressive enough. Since a lot of people on the far left have extremely French theories on gender, which includes asserting that robots have no gender and are non-binary. And if you think I'm making this up, here's the previously mentioned second in command of Birdbrain's Butt Buddy Brigade expressing this very viewpoint.
What is up with the gay jokes? Like, seriously, like, I mean, the gay jokes, the black jokes that a lot of these grifters have, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're listening to this dude and you wonder why the Birdman is going so hard at this cat. You know what I mean? But it's just like it's always some like gay innuendo or something that you gotta say. That's weird to me. That's weird. It's like I don't know. I don't know. It's always been weird to me. I've never I don't know. It's just I don't like it. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Black jokes, the gay jokes, or whatever. Just say some people say that about me. That I need to just get to the point, Dre Mac. So it's just weird. And that's probably what it is, Q. He's projecting, but man, he makes it sound like he has a punchable face, allegedly. That's all I'm saying.
Here's one that goes, Predator Badlands perfectly demonstrates how the great feminization has destroyed culture. The Predator is guided by a female character on an emotional journey, helping him become vulnerable, get in touch with his feelings, and choose friendship over family. This is such a completely disingenuous take on the movie. First of all, not a female, because this character is not a human. They're not biological. She's a synth. Just like every other humanoid character in this movie outside of the Predator is a synthetic. They're not male or female because they're not biological. So it is an android or a synthetic that looks like a woman. No female stuff going on there whatsoever.
First of all, the idea that Drinker's tweet was a joke is cope. If he wasn't trying to criticize her joke tweet, he had no reason to double down on that very criticism in his video.
And partly because of early reviews from intellectual giants like Grace Randolph, who boldly gushed over the film's humanization of the Predator and a possible romantic relationship with a fucking androids.
So nice try, but no. Second, I don't know what you think Eric is saying, but it sure as fuck isn't supporting anything you're trying to communicate, 12 IQ. Eric, being a member of the LGBTQ community, intimately understands the difference between sex and gender. You, being an unintelligent, anti-woke incel loser, do not. The cartoon you showed on the screen was referring to gender, which is what determines our usage of certain pronouns, hence the they-them pronouns being used for an otherwise genderless robot. Eric, on the other hand, is talking about sex, which is why you clearly hear him saying male and female, which is a biological marker that the android wouldn't have.
Right.
You also hear him using the pronoun she, which refers to the gender of the android.
She's a synth. She's a synth.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Wow, great job pointing out that what he said wasn't a serious stance, but a joke which was obvious to anyone who looked at it for even 5 seconds.
Once again, you are coping, sir. Cope harder.
Stuff like this is why women's fiction should be banned.
What even is this? The concept that a biological being has a romantic relationship with a synthetic being is why women's fiction should be banned?
That
so
doesn't
Blade
make
Runner
any
is
sense.
women's fiction now?
Yeah, make any
Pretty
sense.
fucking sure Deckard had a baby with Rachel in that franchise. How about Ex Machina? Or The Creator? Or any of the thousands of science fiction stories where a man falls in love with an android? This is one of the most common tropes in science fiction, so much so it could be called a subgenre. What is
Facts.
this man ever
I mean-
talking about?
Congratulations on being the shit out of that straw man.
I mean, just being honest with you, if you go back and watch Jason X, my man was over there trying to have a whole relationship with an android, with a female android on there. So it's just like when I want to argue my point, I'm gonna point to everything else but the actual stuff that I can actually point to. Oh.
And
Still got about 30
Congratulations on
minutes
proving
left.
you don't know what a straw man is, nor did you understand Drinker's point or my rebuttal to said point. You're high on extra strength
Right, you
copium
stupid.
right now, suggesting his tweet was a joke, because upon being shown irrefutable evidence that he was not joking when he doubled down on that position and said women's fiction should be banned, you had no argument. The title of this video contains the word debunk, and you ain't debunked shit yet.
But the problem in this instance isn't romance. It's changing the overall genre of a pre-existing franchise into something it isn't. All three of his examples are films that are not only not action movies that explicitly focus on romance, unlike the Predator franchise, but they're also the first or only entries to their respective franchises, which makes romance being a major focus in the stories okay, since nothing is being sacrificed or undermined to tell those stories. Predator is an action franchise, meaning the main focus should be on the action, not romance. It's like someone saying that you should automatically enjoy.
This is what I don't give it, and that's the problem. He's the problem right now with modern day films, and I'm gonna tell you why. You focus on the action, and then you forget about the story. Then there's no story. There's no love in this. If you really watch that movie, not a love story. They're getting an understanding of each other, but they're not freaking falling in love. They're not tongue kissing. They're not what is that, barbarian? It's not no barbarian crap. So what is he talking about? Like, dude, this is just dumb. My brain cells are falling out because of KinoFlex and his dumbass way of explaining things. It doesn't make sense.
Always something like Slippin' Jimmy because other cartoons like Looney Tunes are good. Even though Slippin' Jimmy is a spin-off of Better Call Saul, despite having little in common with that show, which makes accepting it as part of the overarching universe it's a part of impossible. Even though Badlands is not a romance, the fact that it's an action comedy makes it incompatible with the franchise with how it breaks the rules of said franchise. Most people understand this intuitively in the same way that they can understand that if they put their hand on a hot stove, they burn themselves. Or that if they didn't eat breakfast this morning, they'd probably feel hungry. Not Birdbrain, though, as he has zero understanding of how anything works, since he's stupid.
So I let this mush mouth slur his words for a while there to show how tangled this man's arguments are. That was almost as incomprehensible as much as it was incorrect. I mean, he just said The Creator isn't an action film, which...
Hold on, wait a minute.
But more importantly...
That's CinemaSins laugh. I believe it's CinemaSins laugh.
Why is he attacking me here? My three examples were to show that romance with a synthetic is an extremely common trope in science fiction. Drinker suggesting that women's fiction should be banned because a woman made a joke touching on this topic on Twitter was silly. I was not making an argument that there should be a romantic subplot in Badlands, nor was anyone here talking about a genre shift. What the fuck is this nasally voiced bastard talking about?
Whatever the cost of selling your soul to your corporate overlords, I hope it was worth it, you bunch of dicks.
Way to reveal you don't know how Rotten Tomatoes works in 2025, even though on their website, they explicitly tell you the percentage is the amount of people that gave it a positive score. So Jack decides to play something from EFAP here, suggesting they have already addressed this point, like there's some sort of authority or something. Well, considering we don't give a fuck what EFAP has to say about anything, and that video clip has nothing to do with me, the Birdman, let's move on to the fact that Jack cut out in part of my video where I show how the audience ranked the Predator films, proving that Drinker's issue with the critics is misplaced, because the general public more or less agree with those critics. Why would you cut that out, Jack? To make it look like I'm only talking about the critic scores? And
to push a narrative.
Curious. Regardless, the film we are currently talking about is considered the best film in the franchise, according to the audience score, a metric we all already know you accept.
I don't recall Drinker actually having this as a position.
And that's probably why you should have stayed on the sidelines where you belong, water boy. The video you're critiquing is a part of a series, and in that series, I have already shown Drinker accepts the audience score. That you don't know this is a you problem.
Drinker says that he trusts audience scores more than critic scores, given how there's increasingly less incentives for them to be honest. But that doesn't mean that Drinker just blindly agrees with whatever the audience score is, because trusting someone more doesn't mean you always agree with them.
And that's not what was said. What was said is it's a metric that he accepts. If you want to claim he can pick and choose when to accept the audience score, then both of you are being disingenuous and lose credibility as media critics, because what you are communicating is that you have no standards and only accept a metric when you agree with the results of that metric. And for clarity's sake, agree with them makes no sense here. I am talking about a tool used to gauge the audience's feelings on a media property. He can disagree with an outcome of a poll, but that doesn't mean he all of a sudden disagrees with polls. Damn, dude, shut the fuck up. Your whiny ass voice is already grating enough. Get to an actual debunk already.
The movie kicks off on the Predator homeworld, which funnily enough looks almost exactly like the other planet where the bulk of this film takes place. Hats off for the imaginative environmental design, chaps. Anyway, for that reason, I'm going to call it generic alien planet number 1, because that's all it is.
That is a blatant lie. The movie begins on Yautja Prime, specifically the part of Yautja Prime that is almost exclusively a desert biome. As far as we know, Yautja Prime has 2 biomes, a lush jungle and a vast desert. It could be that because the drinker's clearly using low-quality cam rip footage of the film that he can't tell the difference between the 2 planets, but that's his fault for stealing this film. Either way, the critical drinker is lying to you.
I've talked about this before in my previous parts, but this ultimately just amounts to a subjective criticism from Drinker. He thinks it looks generic. Birdbrain doesn't think it looks generic. Both are fine points of view to have.
Holy cope, Batman. I give irrefutable evidence that the critical drinker blatantly lied, and Cottonmouth here tries to say that this is the drinker's subjective opinion. I'm sorry. You cannot have a subjective opinion that 2 distinctly different things look the same when they do not. That's not what subjective opinion means. He saw an area with literally 0 vegetation and said the place with an overabundance of vegetation looks like the place with 0 vegetation. I'm sorry, sir. That's just a lie. Drinker lies about things that he wants people to hate. This is very common from right-wingers, Jack. I mean, you are literally doing that to me in this video.
Where his mission is to find and kill the Kalisk, the most powerful and dangerous animal on the planet, and return victorious to generic alien planet number 1 so that he can take revenge on his toxically masculine dads. I mean, call me crazy here, but why not just go straight back there and kill him anyway? I mean, it's not like he's gonna have you back even if you do succeed. Whatever. Let's just go with it so that the rest of the plot can happen.
This sounds suspiciously like the drinker didn't actually watch the film. Deck's purpose is to be accepted by his clan. Simply killing his father doesn't mean the clan will accept him. He needs to follow the protocols of his race and do the thing that will deem him worthy. You say
Dr.
this as if
Carpenter,
others
you already
within
know.
the clan aren't close to as tough as his father. If he offs his dad, but another tough member of the clan assumes his father's role, then he'll have to kill him, and so on. The goal is to become a valuable member of his society.
For someone who accuses other people of not watching the movie, you sure like adding a bunch of shit that was never implied or happened. If he kills his dad, which he has every right to do since he's a criminal by their standards, then he's already proven himself as not being weak. So why would they try to kill him under the presumption of him being weak?
I love how smug you act when you are so stupid, you don't even realize what you're saying is stupid. Deck is unblooded, you moron. He has yet to fulfill his duties to the clan. Drinker's dumbass idea was for him to just return and kill his father. I explained that doing this doesn't prove anything to the clan, as the clan requires you to hunt something to become a part of it, not kill the clan leader. This fucking idiot already brought up the Yautja honor code and somehow isn't applying that standard to Drinker. But that's what these right-wingers do. They'll never hold those on their own side to the same standards they hold others, and that's what makes Doxoflex's critique worthless. It's arbitrary.
Anyway, this is where Lumpy runs into quirky
killing
android
his
lady
dude,
who was
man.
part of a Weyland-Yutani expedition to the planet until her team got attacked and torn apart, literally, by the Kalisk. Oh yeah, and she can speak fluent Predator. How? Don't know.
Okay, now it really sounds like you didn't watch the movie. They literally tell you how and why she can speak Yautja.
No, Birdbrain. This is not the film telling you how she knows how to speak Yautja. This is the film telling you something without making much sense, because how exactly does she know fluent Yautja when that species keeps every aspect of their culture a secret?
What you are expressing is a subjective value judgment. The logic as presented in the film was that Thea extensively studied Yautja culture and that she has a universal translator. She attempts to speak Yautja at the beginning, but she's not good at it, so she switches to universal translation mode.
It's literally in the
When she
movie.
studied Yautja culture isn't shown because when she studied Yautja culture is not important for the story that the film is trying to tell. You're watching a science fiction film about sentient aliens with laser swords. Suspend your disbelief. Not having every detail of a character's past doesn't mean a film is bad or even wrong for not telling you. You telling me you don't like the explanation the film gives is irrelevant to me, because why should we care what you think? You're an idiot.
She makes some vague reference to other predators visiting the planet and talking to her, which makes no sense really because Lumpy's brother specifically said they don't go there because they're all afraid of the Kalisk.
First of all, she didn't say or imply that she spoke to other Yautja. As you saw in the footage I provided, she specifically had to turn on her Yautja-specific translator after trying to communicate a few times, which she wouldn't have to have done if she'd been communicating with other predators.
Exactly.
No, that's not what she does. She says that she is somehow speaking every single language at the same time, which is impossible. Obviously, the out-of-universe justification for this is to have a character speak English so the movie isn't entirely in subtitles for the audience. But it makes no in-universe sense because speaking every language ever conceived simultaneously is something completely outside of the realm of possibility. At that point, it's magic because there's no way you can explain how that's possible.
You seem to want to criticize the movie because that's not a debunk of what I said. She's using a universal translator. Dumbass Flex thinks saying universal translators are impossible is some kind of landmark critique. Besides the fact that we literally have a rudimentary form of this technology in reality today, universal translators are nearly omnipresent in science fiction that deals with aliens. Commander Shepard uses a universal translator to speak to the Turians, Quarians, and the Asari, all at the same time. But because Disney made this property, chuds and incels gotta pretend this is the time we need a deep explanation for how universal translators work. Give me a break and shut your bitch ass up.
Also, what are the chances that they'd land right in the very location where she just so happens to be and not just immediately kill her? Matter of fact, what are the odds that Lumpy would just so happen to run into her as well when he could have landed literally anywhere on the whole planet? This was all very lucky, wasn't it?
What is this weird CinemaSins-like question, Will? If your aunt had a dick, she'd be your uncle. Why are we playing the convenience game when literally every single thing to ever happen was convenient for this specific reality to exist? This is not real film criticism, and I need you people to understand this. You don't criticize a film for what didn't, could have, or what you wanted to happen. You criticize a film for what did happen.
So now Birdbrain is pretending to not know what plot conveniences are.
Holy hell, I had to run that back about 100 times to understand that this flannel mouth motherfucker just said plot conveniences. Jesus, it shouldn't be this difficult to articulate. But I guess when my dick is so often in your mouth, one does forget how to speak.
Stories that are actually worth a damn utilize cause and effect. This means you can't just have something continuously be effect, because at that point you're not getting a story, but a bunch of random shit thrown at you that only succeeds in breaking your immersion, investment, and suspension of disbelief, because if everything happens by chance, then everything can be resolved by chance too.
Just like this video that he made, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's nothing actually being said.
So funny that this guy thinks he's saying something. What he failed to point out was how this applies to what Drinker and I are talking about and how it's a criticism against what I said. My point was that there exists no movies where the things that happen are not convenient, and therefore convenience isn't a real criticism. Drinker's claim was that it was convenient for Deck to land exactly where Thea was. This didn't happen. Deck landed in a thick forest, got attacked, left that forest, found a stream and tended to his wounds. He then traveled to get to where Thea was. Remember, Deck was tracking the Kalisk, and Quay's ship's autopilot sent him to the general area where the Kalisk should be. Thea was where she was because she was also tracking the Kalisk. Because of this, it was inevitable for them to run into each other. That's the cause and effect. Because both were tracking the same creature, they ran into each other. Once again, Drinker is wrong, and Jack has not debunked anything I said. Movies aren't meant to be watched this way. If there is an egregious logical error, then sure, criticize away. But this nitpicky
movie didn't do what I think it should have done
form of media discourse is something that needed to die 10 years ago.
Where do I even start here? Because what you're essentially saying is that if you don't enjoy something, then you can't enjoy anything else ever because all stories somehow have the same exact problems.
I think I was a little generous with 12 IQ points earlier. I think we need to subtract one. No, you Pez dispenser. I'm not arguing movies have the same exact problems. What I'm saying is Movies are not meant to be nitpicked in the manner that people like The Critical Drinker, Mauler, and CinemaSins do. Because we are talking about fiction, there is always a point where the logic will break down, because fiction, especially science fiction, requires a suspension of disbelief. If you are unwilling to suspend your disbelief, then you will not enjoy any movie, because all science fiction movies have logical flaws. That's literally CinemaSins' slogan, that
Fact,
no
Dr.
movie
Barbie.
is without sin. Those films you chose to ignore the flaws of is you subjectively ignoring them, otherwise known as suspending your disbelief. Since you have mischaracterized my position and will be attacking a straw man, there's no need to play you continuing to misattribute a position to me that I don't hold. Let's move on.
But can they hope to take down the most powerful killing machine in the universe so that he can finally confront his toxically masculine dad? Is quirky android lady hiding a secret from Lumpy? And what became of her sister Tessa, who also went missing during the expedition? The answer, of course, is who the fuck cares?
About 95% of the audience that has purchased a ticket on Fandango.
So not enough for it to avoid being a box office bomb?
What even is this, Jack? That was not a refutation of what I said. You don't seem to know what the word debunk means. Drinker asked, who cares? And I factually answered that question. You came off the bench to tell us what exactly? That you believe the movie flopped? Okay, that's not a debunk of what I said, numbnuts. You're like the little kid that whines to play the video game with their older brothers, but when you actually got to hold the controller, they left that shit unplugged.
Like I said earlier, your ability to enjoy Predator Badlands is all going to depend on your perspective here. If you're somehow able to forget the whole Predator thing and just see this film as a generic sci-fi adventure movie with light-hearted comedy undertones that's clearly been geared towards a younger audience, then there's probably some enjoyment to be had here.
This sounds like someone who has made up their mind before the movie ever came out. Something you would never do, I'm sure.
I'm just going to play a clip from that video since you clearly didn't watch it.
The one point of light at the end of the tunnel here is Dan Trachtenberg, who's pulling writing and directing duties this time around after his work on Prey. That movie might not have been perfect, but it was a decent stab at doing something slightly different with the Predator franchise, and although I think people cut it way more slack than it probably deserved, it was still miles better than the loose collection of lazy callbacks and cheap nostalgia bait that we got in Alien Romulus. The reason I bring all this up is that Prey also suffered from a pretty underwhelming trailer that people were quick to dismiss as a typical Disney girl boss sludge fest, only for the movie itself to turn out way better than expected, so I don't want to write Badlands off completely here. It could still turn out to be a decent addition to the franchise.
That doesn't sound like someone unwilling to give a film a chance to me.
And now I'm going to play a clip from that very same video, since you seem to have left something out.
So I don't want to write Badlands off completely here. It could still turn out to be a decent addition to the franchise, but man, I think it's about time we accepted that we're never going to recapture the magic of the 1987 original, and anything we get now is just a pale imitation of stuff that's already been done far better. But trust me, as long as there's anything remotely left to be milked out of this franchise, Disney will find a way to make it happen.
Sounds like Drinker did make up his mind before the film came out, and you cut out the part that invalidates the clip you tried to play. Only you didn't realize I would make a response to this video and expose you for being the lying little bitch that you are.
Surprise, motherfucker.
See, you're doing the same thing you did with Prey. You incessantly bitched about that movie before it released because there was a female protagonist. But when the film dropped, you had no choice but to begrudgingly admit you were bullshitting everyone. I mean, this was your take days before your actual review dropped, where you're very clearly lying to everyone, only to release your video days later with this title.
What is the difference between his tweet and his video? If you watch his video, his sentiments don't change significantly whatsoever.
Joking aside, Prey is definitely not a bad movie. In fact, I'm pleased to say it's way better than I predicted after watching the trailer.
Technically, I still haven't watched Prey. I need to watch Prey.
It's got some good ideas, a refreshingly stripped down and streamlined plot, an interesting new setting, and some fantastically gory action scenes. But it's also hamstrung by poor characterization, weak as fuck dialogue, and a main character that doesn't quite manage to break away from the tropes of modern writing.
So, this...
You see, I haven't stopped the video that much. Birdman is destroying this dude. He's literally destroying this dude right now. And it's not even fair.
airheaded manlet
I still
plays
need
the
to watch
video
it,
of
though.
Drinker expressing the opinion I said he expressed.
I liked
I
Badlands.
very clearly made the point that the tweet was made before Drinker gauged the temperature of the audience, and he then adjusted his language to pander to the audience after he realized everyone liked Prey. Playing the footage of him doing what I said he did doesn't refute my argument. It strengthens it. The tweet is a negative review of the film, and the video is positive, dumbass. Overlong, slow, predictable, cheesy dialogue, heavy-handed pandering to female empowerment, and weird attempts to reference other movies is not surprisingly good, because none of those things are what surprisingly good means. Why do I have to hold your hand through this, Jack? Drinker is a grifter. He's trying to tell the audience what he thinks they want to hear. Hilariously, it works on you, proving that the audience of grifters are very, very low IQ. Just like with Prey, the audience likes this thing, including those in your own audience.
I thought these guys were neo-Nazis who were wrong about everything.
Well, that's probably because you were dropped on your head so much you can iron an old
Dirty
man's
Joker,
slacks across your forehead. Stop attributing false quotes to me, Dick Cheese. Nowhere did I say they were wrong about everything. You don't have to lie to make a point. I mean, you do, but you know what I mean.
Dirty Joker, I don't know if they do. You know, I do the reaction videos to, you know, my guys going after grifters because I think this is hilarious to me. And I don't know how I put up with this, but this is literally my it hurts my brain that just the amount of bull job they can say to try to just prove your narrative. At the beginning of the show, me and Blue go back and forth about Captain Durag. Right? Once Blue gave his explanation on that, I conceded. I understood exactly where it's coming from. I may not like the name, but I understood he was coming from, and I bowed out. I yield. This dude does not know how to yield. Just right. Yeah, just yield. Just shut up. But this is what grifters do.
What's being communicated here is Predator Badlands is considered a good film by the consensus, a consensus that members of Drinker's audience belong to. So he includes the perspective talking point in his video to appease these people. Try to keep up, Short Stack. A good film is a good film.
Not really.
We do not care what you think about this film. Please continue this weak attempt at a debunk video. If you don't like it, say that and accept that others have a different opinion than you.
That's literally what he's been doing all throughout the video, but every time he does, you bring up the Rotten Tomato score that means jack shit, and the film's box office that also means jack shit, because it didn't amount to anything, as we've already discussed.
You haven't discussed anything because you don't even realize the numbers you used are made up. The fact remains that the film has received excellent word of mouth, made more money than its reported budget, and is doing well on streaming platforms. By every objective, verifiable measure, the film is a success. That's why it's getting a sequel. And no,
I can't wait.
Drinker did not accept that others had a different opinion than him. He literally got angry at the critics on Rotten Tomatoes for having this film ranked higher than the first Predator, you ancient anal shit nugget. Damn, dude, how are you getting everything wrong? Statistically, you should have accidentally proven me wrong by now.
You mean the same audience that you previously showed to have liked the film?
I need that meme where it's like, throw the damn towel! Throw the damn towel! Y'all want to see a dead body? Man, KinoFlex, dude, you are getting beat up right now. I'm almost done. Dude, these are the only gluten-free cookies that I could find, and it's Chips Ahoy, and they're so delicious, and I'm almost done with them. Listen to this dude get beat up, and it's unfair. This is Jake Paul and my man all over again. This is just... Stop hitting them that hard.
Grifter if he tells his audience what they want to hear, but he's also a grifter if he tells his audience what they don't want to hear.
It should be impossible to be this dumb. Dude, this is what happens when you cut up someone's video to interject with nonsense. You forget what they're talking about. I'd been making the point that Drinker's closing remarks on the film was him attempting to soften his language and play to the crowd, because like Prey, the crowd likes Badlands. So even though he spent a lot of the time lying about the film and completely misunderstanding redeeming aspects about it, he ends on a positive note because he doesn't want another Thunderbolt situation. Maybe shut your mouth and open your ears, you fucking dwarf. And video by video, I'm waking people up to your shenanigans, Will. It's only a matter of time before you're as irrelevant as CinemaSins. Yeah, I did that too.
If CinemaSins can be considered irrelevant, why can't the same be said for you since you make less views than they do?
You are cosmically dumb. Like, Galactus came down, used the power cosmic, and turned you into the wood surfer, which is apropos because all you do is ride my dick all day. You come to the exact wrong conclusion 100% of the time. CinemaSins used to have videos in the millions of views for literally all of their videos.
They did.
I come along, and now a 9 million subscriber channel has videos with 50,000 views. That's what I'm saying, Sherlock, that I've put a dent in their popularity. Because of course I did. And as for my views, CinemaSins and I have very comparable view counts these days, only I'm 28 times smaller than they are. So these weird shots you keep attempting to take at my channel aren't working, kiddo. You should worry about your own channel and the fact that if you aren't talking about me, no one cares about you. You know, like in real life.
Oh, I hate the way that he walked, the way that he talked. I hate the way that he dressed. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. This is why, now y'all see why I do these videos. Now you see why I do reaction videos, because this is funny as hell. Oh my goodness. My man is getting beat the up. And I want him to get up, but he won't. Oh my God, he's dead. And I'm one of those people that used to watch CinemaSins all of the time. All of the time. So he is, I stopped watching, I stopped watching CinemaSins for real, after watching, that's how I first started watching Birdman, because his reactions to the CinemaSins. And now look at me after arguing with this dude because I was being a jackass in his chat. Look at me reacting to his stuff now. God, just stuff comes full circle.
Honestly, go watch the original Predator, then skip straight to this thing and just think about what you've witnessed. The difference in tone, style, and intent is more jarring than taking an F1 car to 200 miles per hour and throwing it into reverse.
I can't, first of all, stop. You cannot do what they did in the 80s right now. Your ass would get canceled. Some people are getting canceled for sneezing too hard, let alone the jokes and undertones of racism and all of that in the first Predator movie. You cannot get away with that. Not at all in 2025 or 2026.
That's probably because there has been nearly 40 years of filmmaking that has happened between the two films, Will. We've learned that audiences expect a whole lot more than the simplistic concepts that worked on our parents, and more importantly, that the macho action hero schlock of the 80s belongs
I'm glad you liking this.
According to who is saying that action films can no longer be played straight and require comedy all throughout as if it were an MCU movie?
The box office. The movie studios that aren't making those types of films with any regularity anymore.
Yeah.
The audience that, when those films do come out, don't go see them.
Yep.
The Running Man, Afterburn, Tin Soldier, The Fall Guy, Ruthless. Should I go on, or are we good to go?
There is still a place for mid-budget or even high-budget action movies that take themselves
I don't know why
seriously that audiences will show up to. Look at the Avatar franchise, for instance. Don't get me wrong, they have their own separate issues, but they are undeniably an example you can point to of audiences wanting action movies that take themselves seriously without comedy weighing it down at the very least.
There is no way you just attempted to compare the schlocky 80s action film to Avatar. Your stupidity is transcendent. Your ability to completely misunderstand what someone has said needs to be studied, and you have the gall to call anyone else a bird brain. This would be funny if it weren't sad. Otherwise, you're asking for another generic Predator film, and that's how we got The Predator.
The core complaint of The Predator wasn't that it was a generic action movie. It was that it didn't feel like an action movie at all by suffering from the same problems Predator Badlands had, but worse by relying on comedy and not staying true to the action genre.
According to who? Where are you getting the core complaint from, Jack?
Exactly.
Who are you quoting here? Are you giving me your take on this film? Well, we've already established that we don't give a fuck what you think. You'd already made up your mind to dislike this film 6 months ago, so why did you even go see it? Oh, because shitting on things makes you a lot of money? Well then, you're not really a movie reviewer and you should probably stop pretending you are one. There's no need at this point. You're just a right-wing mouthpiece that hates everything that's not like you.
Calm down, Bird Brain. You sound as though you're about to cry.
Amazing rebuttal. You really showed me there.
Nobody is saying that any new entry to a franchise can take creative liberties. We're simply saying that it needs to be grounded into the spirit of the franchise and what the original set out to do. This idea that fans of a franchise have to automatically support any soulless product using its name, despite not resembling it at all, is a mentality everyone is sick of and tired of tolerating.
As I told
Have you heard anybody who says a whole bunch of nothing? They be talking like, what are you talking? Like, have you just sat back and listened to some people like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I stopped caring a long time ago when you start talking. This is just the way. That's why I was listening to KinoFlex. I did my reaction video to him. I said, this is terrible. This is terrible. And I tried to make fun of it, but it was just so hard because it's so lifeless and brainless. Never mind. This is legitimately all he has to offer. Sad.
The Drinker, nobody is forcing you to consume the media property. You don't have to tolerate anything.
Nope.
You can simply check out and literally no one would care. But you see, it's the no one caring part that bothers you people. So you have to invade fan spaces where people are having a good time and loudly proclaim that you're mad about a thing that you don't have to see. Because like a child that just took a shit in his coveralls, you need everyone else to know exactly how upset you are. And some of you, not you, get paid handsomely for doing that. So there is an incentive to being an annoying bitch with constant shit takes.
I can't take any of Badlands seriously because the film itself treats every fight and plot event as a joke.
Once again, Drinker is lying to you. The majority of the film's comedic aspect comes from Thea, the android, and the majority of that is front-loaded in her introduction, which is a film technique meant to contrast her against the extremely serious and violent young Yautja. The beginning of this film, which is roughly the first 22 minutes, shows Dek nearly being killed by his brother in a duel, his father trying to force his brother to kill him, and his brother refusing to do so and getting dismembered and beheaded for his defiance. Then Dek crash lands on a planet where literally everything is trying to kill him, even the grass. None of this is played for comedy, and it's almost non-stop Predator action until the android appears.
Is your rebuttal seriously that the comedy doesn't begin until 20 minutes into the movie?
No, you living pile of vomit. The rebuttal is that the entire film is not comedic, that the comedy that does exist is front-loaded, and that the comedy does not overpower the film, which is what the Drinker is claiming. I mean, you literally heard me say all of that and are somehow still coming to the wrong conclusion. This is unreal.
So that should excuse her constantly delivering quips for the rest of its runtime?
Citation needed. This is a thing that did not happen. You are lying. Here's Thea being serious at the 30-minute, 38-second mark.
I was just wrong about who. But Tessa and I are special. We have a higher sensitivity than the others. The sensitivity is what allows us to understand the creatures on this planet. And then the Kalisk attacked us.
The 54-minute, 11-second mark.
Jack, there's something I have to tell you. You need to leave now. I called Tessa. The company is on its way. You can't be here when they arrive.
You
can't kill it.
And the 1 hour, 20-minute, 43-second mark.
What are you doing here? You came back for me? What exactly are you wearing? Deck of the Yautja.
A lot of quipping going on, huh? The animal sidekick Drinker is talking about is one of the most ruthless and dangerous creatures in the film.
He needs some
Bird Brain, you are a child in a grown man's body.
And you are a grown man in a child's body. But that wasn't a rebuttal, Jack. Remember, you're supposed to be debunking me. If you're looking for that macho bullshit Drinker is talking about from the first movie, yeah, this movie has that.
Then why did you say that it was unreasonable to expect the franchise to remain macho and that it should stay in the 80s?
because, and try to keep
What's
up
up,
here because I'm
Dr.
about to
J?
explain advanced placement calculus. That's not what I actually said. I specifically stated that those were the current audience's expectations, that the reason films have changed over the past 40 years was due to the changing attitudes of the audience.
Yes.
Me stating Deck behaves in a way that Drinker should like has no bearing on my previous statement, because on one hand, I'm describing the audience sentiment, and in the other, an objective fact.
Also, I just want to point out that more action does not make it more meaningful or impactful.
Again, I don't care about your subjective value judgments. That's your opinion. Others can argue differently. There is no
Right.
winner here. Besides, you're a low IQ
Exactly,
alt-right
Dr.
incel that has a
Carby.
personal vendetta against anything you perceive to be left-wing. You are not a reliable source. That's why every single non-grifting movie critic is telling you this is a good movie.
Yeah, the movie was good.
And that would be a good time. No alcohol required.
I just had a great time with it.
Hell, even grifters are telling you this is a good movie.
I enjoyed myself. I'm a happy Predator
Man!
franchise fan.
Okay, and who cares? They're all
Now nobody cares. I hate when people do that. You show evidence, but like, who cares? I don't care what they're talking about. I don't care if even grifters who believe in the same thing that I do, I can't believe what they're saying. I don't like it. It's just dumb. I'm ready for this to end. I'm not lying. I'm ready for KinoFlex to just finally be buried, like legitimately Undertaker buried alive, full of biscuits, honey sauce, butter, and have Thumbhead be on the side of him like,
all wrong.
Regardless of your opinion on their opinion, the point being made here is that a wide variety of people have enjoyed the film.
Yes.
Importantly, those that aren't trying to appeal to those with a political
With the
agenda,
exception of
meaning
Tyrone.
you can trust their take. You saying they're all wrong is an endorsement of the film, actually, being that you are a living billboard for what not to do in any given situation.
And don't even get me started on Lumpy's creature design. Like, how the fuck does a movie from 1987 look better than a $100 million Disney project with cutting-edge special effects? How have we gone so far backwards?
As you can see, Deck's father appears more or less similar to the original film's antagonist and is far more detailed than that character.
That's a lot of words to just say that he looks retarded on purpose. Every single time Drinker has brought up this criticism, none of the four people responding to him actually engage with what he's saying. Drinker's criticism relates to the technical aspects of the film, not the narrative aspects. You don't have to settle for a less impressive looking character when a cooler version of them has shown up before. It's just a lazy creative decision.
You're once again giving us a subjective value judgment, not an objective debunk of my talking point. If you don't like something, so what? Who are you? Why should we care what you think?
Exactly.
You're just some guy. And Drinker's point
You.
has been addressed. I very clearly debunked the idea that filmmakers can't make a creature design on par with what we got in the 80s. They can because they did. The protagonist's visual aesthetic was done on purpose. That's not a narrative explanation, it's a technical one. Since we know they have the ability, thereby debunking Drinker's claim, we know Deck's design was what the costume designers were shooting for.
Then there's just the stuff that's straight up.
This is wild. I mean, we got 6 minutes left. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, your own. Tori, thank you for the $2 super chat, man. He needs to come up for air. I am losing steam. I just want I just want dude to just shut up. I want KinoFlex just to shut up. But you know what? He's looking to taste the biscuits, and so is Tyrone.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
All right, let's finish this up.
Irritating, the biggest of which is by far quirky android lady.
You didn't think we'd make it out of a Drinker video without some anti-woman rhetoric, did you?
What does
Silly
KinoFlex got to
rabbit.
say about this?
Also, I thought robots didn't have genders, Will. See how quickly he abandoned that as soon as it became convenient to do so?
As I said before, that tweet was clearly a joke and not something he seriously believes.
And you were wrong about that and have literally zero evidence to the contrary, so you might want to abandon this talking point.
Why on earth would you program a synth for a high priority mission like this to act like some ditzy bimbo with Tourette's?
The movie answers that question too.
So we could understand the creatures on this planet and exploit them.
God damn, did you watch the movie or not?
Apparently you didn't, because she tells jokes because she wants to.
She told jokes because she wanted to? Ignoring that I explicitly provided evidence from the film that backs up my claim, what evidence do you have that she told jokes because she wanted to?
A lot of these people are never going to bring up the evidence. They're not, because they're narrative pushers. And where you're pushing the narrative, just like a lot of far right-wing pundits do, you know, be damn the actual information out here. Yeah, be damn that. You don't need actual factual information that you can be able to obtain and pull up. No, you don't need that, because it's better to push a narrative. And when you're pushing a narrative, it's easier to get people on your side, because half of them are not going to do any research and only going to go off of what you say. And if you, whatever you say sounds convincing enough, say they don't have to think, then there you go. And that's all it is. And it's sad.
Opposed to using her heightened empathy to manipulate Deck into getting what she really wanted, which was her legs. You have anything to back up that claim you just made, dipshit? Nothing? Yeah, I thought not.
With all the tropes and cliches you expect from a Disney movie, an emotionally vulnerable hero on a quest to take down a monster, a sinister family member working against them, a quirky sidekick for comedy banter, a cute little animal friend for merchandising purposes, and a sequel bait ending to help set up an extended cinematic universe.
He thinks he's describing Disney's structure, when the only reason he thinks that is because a lot of Disney movies are adventure stories and thus follow that same structure. I mean, hell, he's roughly describing the first Star Wars movie, an emotionally vulnerable hero on a quest to take down a monster, a sinister family member working against him, a quirky sidekick for comedy banter, and a cute little animal friend for merchandising purposes.
You're reaching incredibly hard with some of your examples, since Vader wasn't revealed to be Luke's father until the second movie, but the fact remains that this was always the appeal of Star Wars from day one. Whereas this objectively wasn't the case for the Predator franchise until Badlands came along.
Nothing of what you just said matters. I am correct. We are not talking about Star Wars in 1977. We are talking about Star Wars in 2026. And in 2026, we all know Vader was Luke's father. It's these dumb, pedantic distinctions you attempt to make that makes you believe you're debunking me, and you're not. You're just yapping. I am describing a structure, one that Star Wars and Badlands share. It's something literally everyone who watched my video understood intuitively. But your dumbass thinks I'm saying these things are exactly the same. I literally called R2-D2 a cute little animal friend, for fuck's sake, you simpleton. I am comparing them. What you did is contrasting them.
The realization that just
Compare
like
and
Alien,
contrast.
this
I learned
is
that
what
in the
the Predator
third grade.
franchise has devolved into, a financial commodity instead of a sharp and violent artistic endeavor, reshaped and remolded into a safe, inoffensive, focus-tested corporate product, ready to be churned out by the truckload until it becomes financially unviable.
Cool. Did you just imply the first Predator was a sharp and violent artistic endeavor? Hey, what do we think of that claim, Jungle Hunter? If the reviews from the 80s didn't clue you in, the first Predator, which I personally liked, was seen as a generic ripoff of Rambo and Arnold's own Commando up until the Yautja appeared. And then it was seen as a ripoff of Alien, but done worse.
Okay, so ultimately all he ended up saying was that you need to acknowledge Predator as a bad movie because shitty critics from back then never gave it a chance and dismissed.
So now the critics are bad from back then. This is literally some of the worst takes I've ever. I haven't even got. There's another video that I'm doing on tomorrow, and I think this might take the cake of the worst takes I've heard all week. Ugh. And this dude is still talking. There's still 3 minutes left of KinoFlex I gotta listen to. Be stupid.
because they were pretentious snobs. But the point is that critics as a whole have largely just been a group of clueless idiots who aren't
Now
consistent
they're clueless.
and don't know what they're talking.
So any Hollywood critic is just clueless. This is what they literally do for a living. Now all of a sudden they're clueless. Like, dude, get the hell up out of here, man. Shut up.
About when discussing quality.
Right. So you're mad that people don't think the way that you do, so you insult them and say they were wrong.
Right.
Once again,
Sign
your
language.
opinion is irrelevant. Let's move it along.
Well, based on the opening weekend projections, that eventuality might come sooner than expected.
You mean the projections that were completely wrong? Yeah, you might want to stop talking about the box office, critical drinker. You're like 6 for 24,
Exactly,
Toby.
Dr. Carpy.
You might want to pass the ball to Ron Artest.
I don't see why he should when his prediction turned out to be correct, while your prediction turned out to be the one completely wrong.
I'm not sure how my prediction was completely wrong. You know, considering I never made a prediction. Unlike you idiots, I don't care what a movie makes. The box office proceeds are completely irrelevant to me because I'm not a stockholder and I don't get paid if they are successful. My concern is with the quality of a film.
Right.
And I do enjoy him capping off this dumbass video with the wrong numbers for the third time. Anyway, as you all can see, Jack Kentner is one of the worst to ever do it. And that's why he is where he is in life. Just a loser seeking attention from anyone that'll give it. I do hope my audience is satisfied because that's the last time he'll ever appear on this channel. And after this headache-inducing experience, I'm sure you all can understand why.
Yeah, my
If
head
it's
is
not the
pounding.
nasally, whiny voice, it's got to be just how stupid the guy is. He can't get basic shit right, and he's smug about it too. An arrogant moron. Hell of a combination.
Oh man, Birdman, another great video, but I could not take that kid anymore. Like I said, it was a 4-hour, almost 5-hour video about me, about my, about my life on him that he was talking about you. And because I said the time and date that I constantly remind people what time this show is starting. 7:30 in the morning. It's like a catchphrase, but I'm telling you, 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 if you're on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, which literally will be 5:30, get up because the early bird gets the worm. And they was like, is he giving the longitude and latitude of that? Don't understand why he would do that in the morning. Bitch, I'm giving you the damn times that I'm on live. Shut up. The show starts at 7:30. Sometimes it might start at 7:45 like today. But man, what did y'all think about this, man? I'm done. I done ate half my cookies. You know what I'm saying? I can't get any raisin butter biscuits. You know what I mean? Nothing. I'm sick of it. Yeah, anyway, tell me what you guys think, man. This is like people like KinoFlex is literally sometimes I want to take out YouTube.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
All right, tell me, guys, what you thought about this. Put it in the comment section below and let me know what you guys think. But again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, man. I got to go to bed, man. Where's my outro at? Because you already know I got to go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.